Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Atlas. Unless you're new to the channel, then guess what? It is nice to meet you guys. I hope you have a good time. And if you do, feel free to hit subscribe and click the bell notification on. If any of you guys are returning, you haven't yet, make sure you turn the bell notification on. Today, we got some really good news that we're going to be talking about and some bad news as well. So it's a mixed bag of nuts, I guess you could say. And yeah, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about any of this stuff. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So first thing I want to go ahead and talk about is that you take a look at the election results, and it looks that Joe Biden is the elected president. There's lots of evidence suggesting that this is going to happen. There's a very, very small chance. I know Trump and supporters of Trump are really pushing for it. And the reason why I'm starting off with this news is because a lot of people have been speculating about the state of the election, the uncertainty, the aftermath, who gets elected, how things could be affected, all that kind of stuff. And so if we now have a clear winner, which he did his speech just a little bit ago, and again, the facts look very, very strong that he's going to be the president, that people can start to feel a little bit more of reassurance of where things might go from here. And so just want to kind of start with that. I'm sure you guys have all been hearing about this, but let's go ahead and touch base with that first. So in regards to Bitcoin, so Bitcoin had a bit of a pullback, right? Some people were kind of speculating on right after if Biden was announced as the president, what could happen. Well, we saw a huge tank take place over the day, but then guess what? It's recovered tremendously so. I mean, yeah, it massively plummeted, but the fact that it didn't just stop at the bottom, it recovered quite a bit is actually pretty nice. And so it's at the moment above 15,000 right now. And so one of these veteran investors, Bill Miller, says every major investment bank will own Bitcoin or something like it. And nice little statement down here at the bottom of this article. Miller, who serves on the investment committee for the endowment of Baltimore-based Johns Hopkins University, a very credible, well-known based university, Johns Hopkins, said that the endowment's chief investment officer told him that, quote, everybody is going to want to own at least some Bitcoin because of its asymmetric properties. The endowment may never own Bitcoin, Miller said, yet for a college endowment, that's a bold statement, he added. So, that's very interesting. Do you guys think that a lot of the financial institutions, that they're going to start getting involved with this, major investment banks? Personally, I think they probably should. So another article that was speculating about what could happen, this was 5 hours ago, and one of the statements that they said was economic stimulus could propel Bitcoin higher because he really wants to push for a stimulus plan for people, right? So if we get a stimulus check because of news like this that follows afterwards, well, you know what happened last time we got $1,200 extra? There was a huge increase on Coinbase for specifically of purchases of Bitcoin for $1,200. People just moved it right over into crypto. They got it, moved it right over. I plan on doing the same thing, to be honest. I get an extra stimulus check. Hey, thank you very much. I'm going to invest it because I don't want my money to go down in value by sitting there. And so, yeah, that's one thing. Rising US dollar. Well, guess what? If they pass a stimulus plan, that means that they're going to have to print more money from the Federal Reserve, and that means more money in circulation. And guess what? There's now more supply. So the value of the dollar is going to go down, which actually strengthens the idea of something like a depreciating asset such as Bitcoin, because it has a definitive amount. That's why it's kind of a depreciating in inflationary, so it's like deflationary, so not depreciating in its value, deflationary. Yeah, I should have just said deflationary. So just pretend I didn't say the other word, I just said deflationary. Okay, so anyways, and then you get stock markets may rally now that the election is resolved. Well, a lot of people were speculating about what's going to be going on with the stock market. And now that it's very clear who the president is going to be, it's like, all right, back to business. Let's go. Let's do this. So that is that with that, and that is that with that. Wall Street Giant. This is actually pretty interesting in regards to what is going on with our baby Orchid. Yes, I talk about this cryptocurrency a lot on this channel, and I also talk about other cryptocurrencies, just so you guys know. I try to touch base every video with Bitcoin, with Orchid, and then hopefully some other thing that seems to be going on with one of these other cryptos, So, Wall Street giant quietly accumulating 6 small cap crypto assets in $75 million portfolio. Yes, $75 million. Oh my gosh. So, this is actually because of a researcher, Mason Nystrom, Messari researcher, reveals that Jump Trading, a trading firm specializing in algorithmic and high frequency trades with 700 employees worldwide, is accumulating 6 Ethereum-based cryptocurrencies while flying under the radar. Guys, this is big. Jump Trading holds at least $75 million in crypto assets and is the 8th largest holder of compound tokens behind A16Z and Polychain. Jump bought 47,000 comp in the past 7 days. Jump also holds Keep Network, HXRO, Numeraire, Orchid, just really point that out right there, Orchid, and Maker. Jump invested an undisclosed amount in Serum and owns 40 million SRM. Nystrom was able to find Jump's trading crypto holdings with the help of Nansen, an analytic a platform that labels the owner of Ethereum addresses while tracking their activities. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is bullish news or bearish news? That some big institution out there is accumulating a bunch of this? Well, the way that I look at it, I think that this could be good news. Why? Well, look at what's been going on with Bitcoin. Who do you think's been coming in and now the price of Bitcoin's coming up? It's because you got the big players, the smart money, right? What do they say? Follow the smart money. Why is it that somebody that has so much money, right? Jump Trading, they have all this money. And if Orchid, people say that it's a crap coin and it's dead, and you got all these other people that are just naysayers, but you got a promising future with it. The smart money, they're investing big bucks. We're not talking the average everyday person, $10 here or whatever. They see something in this, and they see something in these other coins too. Does that mean that every one of them is going to succeed? No. But the fact that they have a level of interest like they do, and they're investing so much, that's interesting. Also, they've been accumulating it. They haven't been selling, buying, selling, buying. Doesn't sound like it, at least. Sounds like they've been buying, they've been adding to their portfolio, and guess what? We've been seeing some spikes up and then some spikes down, trickles down further, a massive spike up. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the major players that's been causing that huge spike up is Jump Trading. So, the fact that we're not at lower prices might be thanks to them. Could they be potentially doing sell-offs too to help force it down and then other people buy? Yeah, potentially. But honestly, in just my personal opinion, I don't think that's what's going on. I think they're doing the big buy orders, and then all this money, or all the Orchid that's being distributed amongst the different holders that were a part of its release schedule plan. I wouldn't be surprised if those people are the ones that are dumping it back on the exchanges and just looking to try and make some sort of a return. Although the prices are still underrated. So yeah, there's something that's going on, because Orchid, it was $1, big kind of pump and dump type situation right there. Even though it was a progressive movement down, we saw the issues with was going on with Bitcoin, and Orchid was starting to make a rally. And then today, guess what? Bitcoin started dumping a whole bunch, and Orchid said, okay, I'm going to vomit. It's like, hey, Bitcoin's doing good. All right, I'll start to make some moves. I'll watch how things are going here. Bitcoin's like, oh, we're going down. Orchid's like, get rid of all of it. Like, come on, guys. There's a good promising future with Orchid. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you want to check out more on this thing, you should definitely check out my other videos that I've done on this. So aside from that, we also take a look over at ZRX. And with ZRX, it had quite a drop yesterday. In fact, on Coinbase, this was listed as the biggest mover down from what they had on their listing. And, it's been having some good movements progressively up here back around in the August position, moving all the way up to almost $1 itself back on August 21st. And then a bit of a retracement down, a little bit of recovery, and it's progressively had its movement very similar in style, actually. A little bit of a pump up, then decline down, starts to recover, but then continues further down, up, and then sideways for a while, down, and then it started to make this rally. And you guys can actually notice here, it just almost hit the 21 EMA, closed down the daily below, but the next day was that huge pump, which we saw the whole market doing as well. That felt great, right? Imagine if every day was like that. And then the next day, yesterday, is when we had this big massive dump. Technically it's kind of today, but we're a couple hours into the new day, right? So right now we're just touching, look at that, just touching the 21 EMA right there. It's right. I feel like you could draw a little line in between that yellow on the 21 EMA and it'd be right inside there. Don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying yourselves on this video and the content, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We're trying to get to at least 50 likes. I am trying to grow this channel, and I want to build an amazing community. And guess what? I know you watching. I know you're amazing. I know you got your own thoughts and opinions, whether you're new to this or you're experienced. Anything you guys want to talk or ask questions on, drop it down below. I do look at all these comments. I don't necessarily reply to everything, but I do take a look at it that's there. And I think it's great when you guys engage with one another as well. And so, yeah, I want to have a really strong community in the cryptocurrency space and be really strong and supportive of one another. Because the end of the goal of all of this, right? We're getting into the space. We're hoping that it's going to move a lot of industry spaces forward. And we're also hoping that it can help us benefit our own lives, whether it be with our own businesses or, of course, obviously from a financial position that we're able to make more money off of this, right? So that's the end goal of each of us. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other elements in this before we continue on. Needs to break above the 21 EMA. That retracement, not great. If it can break above this level of this descending wedge here, we could see a retracement back up to around 54, 55 cents. That's just under where this big dump had actually taken place, and then everything started to have its accumulation. It is above the actual top line right here. But yeah, so we have a potential for a recovery if it decides that it wants to break, but it needs to maintain itself above that 21 EMA. It is fighting for it right now, and if Bitcoin has a further continuation rally after that dump that took place and everyone's kind of settled in, we could see this break above the level of resistance around 35 cents, and then there's a huge realm of possibility as I just showed you guys. If it has a further continuation down, another major level of resistance that you guys should be taking an eye on is going to be around 30 cents for a low. That's like in the immediate future. Now go ahead and taking a look over, since we were talking about with Orchid. Let's go ahead and take a look at Orchid. So our little baby project here. You know, I mentioned this yesterday. If you guys don't watch my videos on this on the daily and you guys are big supporters of Orchid, or you know other people that are supporters of Orchid, I've been doing really good on these call outs, but I've only been doing really good because I'm trying to stick to the fundamentals. There's so many different chart patterns and this and that people can do. And I've watched a lot of different cryptocurrency YouTubers, and there's some that I tend to gravitate more towards because they stick to certain principal ideas, and it's been a great pattern repetition for them. So I drew a lot of inspiration from them, and that's how I kind of crafted in my own direction. But there's so many different ways that you could look at these things, guys. Just keep that in mind. And so, yeah, we have the descending wedge pattern. Yes, that suggests that it is on a bullish uptrend reversal. But I've been clear each time that there's certain key fundamentals that has to happen for that to be committed. Otherwise, it's going to have a further continuation down. And so, like I said yesterday, it's great that we broke above the 21 EMA. That's good news. The fact that we broke above the level of resistance, that's good news. But for a pattern to really be formed on a solid foundation, you need 2 or 3 instances of that planting. And so when we broke above the 21 EMA, I said 1 day close is great, but be careful that this is not another fake out. I said we need another day at least to close above that level of that 21 EMA. Now, you could argue and say that it's still pretty good because even though that huge retracement back, we're above the level of resistance. Okay, in that regard, yes. But when you look at it from a little bit of a longer term perspective, guys, on the daily, we keep trying to go past this 21 EMA, and you can tell we get rejected over, and I mean, even here, over and 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 over again. That's a major problem. That's an obstacle we have to overcome. So if we can get above this 21 EMA, which is currently at 22.5 cents, basically 23 cents. If we can get above that, we can close it out and we can stay above there. Now we're starting to make some actual real progress. Until then, the trends are still on the push down. Yes, it's a descending wedge, but there's other elements that we have to take into consideration. So please keep that in mind, guys. If you're looking to accumulate more on this, I'm looking at the future of this project. I've been buying these dips. I've been adding more to my portfolio. And you know what it's been doing? I've been dollar cost averaging. So the average cost on my Orchid, just so like put it out there, over this course of time, I've dropped it down by 10 cents. And now when it's only 21 cents right now, right? My dollar cost average before has now gone down 10 cents. As long as the project does go forward and it moves and does everything good, that's a big deal, right? So yeah, guys, it's one of those circumstances. Just kind of keep an eye on things. And then lastly, let's talk about Bitcoin. Don't go anywhere. Stay there, okay? This is still important news because Bitcoin's the granddaddy of everything. And also, thank you guys for being here. Again, if you guys would like to come back and be a part of the community, then please hit subscribe. If you're new, feel free to tell me in the comments down below too. You don't have to talk about all crypto stuff. Even if you guys just want to say hi, you guys are more than welcome to do so. We got a lot of good people here. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin has broken above that level of resistance a couple days ago. And did it establish itself the next day? Yes, the second day close above, third day close above. So that's actually still a good sign. It did dip down below, but it closed above. So in that sense, yes, although we had one major downward, the second day was essentially almost green. I mean, yeah, it was red, but it's so thin that it's almost like nothing had happened on the daily close. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? So in that regards, the fact that we're in the green as of this moment right now, and we're seeing a bit of a push back up, this is actually good news. And having retracements back is also natural and healthy as part of the ecosystem. Nothing seems to go up, 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 up. It has sometimes a pullback down. Even Tesla, even Amazon, all these things, at some point, they have a cool down period. A bubble can only grow so big, pops, and it starts to grow again. And this is one of those little hiccup moments that we're having, and what could potentially be a significant bull run, one that might blow out of the water your expectations, your guesses of things. When you hear $500,000 on these Bitcoins and things, guys, remember that I said this, okay? Unless some other major thing comes in and is a wrench in the system, when Bitcoin hits $100,000 someday, and you're watching my video and you think, okay, Bitcoin's doing good, and yeah, but the fees and all this other stuff that people throw out there, yeah, it's not gonna do that. When it happens, just remember, I told you. But hopefully you're gonna be like, hey, yeah, you told me, and you know what? I did buy it when it was lower too, so even though I was wrong, like, I'm still happy it happened, right? So think of it like that. So we're continuing above the yellow line right here. Everything is looking good. We're still above the 21 EMA, and we're above $15,000. We still got to try and break above, going towards that 20K. You can see that there's a little bit of a line that's been formed around 15,800. We tapped it right here as of a couple days ago, and then yesterday we basically tapped the same point. We briefly went above it on November 6th. So if we can break above 15,800, 16,000 is going to look way more possible, and that is actually another level to break. And then above that is then going to be another major zone. If we go all the way back here, key zone is then going to really be around $17,200. $17,200 broken. Hello, 20K. We could move very fast with this stuff, guys, and I've talked about that before. If you look back in 2017 over here, how long did it take for Bitcoin when it went from $14,000 to go to about 20K? Well, here is a daily close. There's $14,000. And then the next day, the high point, just under 20K. Just underneath it. I mean, it had some days of pullback, and then about a week later, it went all the way up, right? But if you want to say it, it's really close to the other point right there. So it was essentially like a day that it got to that point. So we could, in a day, be very close to 20K. It's happened before. Now there's more demand, more people that are coming in. There's less supply that's going on. You got a whole bunch of people that are taking off of exchanges. You got big smart money that's coming in. You got these financial institutions that are looking to come into play and be a part of this experience too, right? And then you got common people and people around the world that are having issues with their own economy, their own governments and stuff, and they're looking for alternatives. And you see that this is looking more and more real. And FOMO kicks in, the fear of missing out, right, guys? $15,000, $15,022 from what I'm looking at this exact moment. It's still looking strong. But guys, the market is volatile, especially in crypto. So be careful. Is it guaranteed to go up right now? No, it's not. We could have a pullback, especially with the news of the election. There might be something that comes out and somebody's like, you know what? I was a big holder. I'm going to cause it to start cascading down. But yeah, things are looking good. Let's see how things play out. The signs are showing good signs. And once again, I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. Let's try to get to at least 50 likes on this video, and bell notification if you want to know when more videos come up. And comment down below. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.